Welcome on in, everybody. Our Friday edition of the S&S Survivor Series headed into the weekend. So working hard now so that you can enjoy your weekend ahead. I really don't have too many new announcements. Next week we will start some new programming, so we'll introduce a few different ways to train. We'll switch things up a little bit. That's still to be determined, so we'll discuss that next week as we get into it. Equipment-wise today, we're certainly looking for one, if not two moderate weights. In fact, there's a time in which using two moderate weights could be even more beneficial, and potentially using a heavier weight as well, kind of more optional for the heavy weight. We'll be doing that movement initially right off the bat. That'll be our full range of motion. That's pretty much what we're looking at equipment-wise beyond kind of that pole, broom, towel option for you in the warm-ups. Of course, if you can go barefoot, let's make that happen. I'll do my best of telling you where you should be feeling muscles within the body. I want you to do the best of trying to integrate that into your workout. If you got any injuries, pay attention to what you're feeling. Sharp or bright pains are a no-no. We try to avoid those overall. We want to make sure that you stay safe with what you're doing, and if that means that you might substitute in a movement that you know and are more familiar as opposed to something that we're giving you that doesn't fit so well, I absolutely encourage you to do that. Please keep yourself safe. There's going to be some power options with what we do and more moderate options. Pay attention to those if you fall into one of those categories. If you got some music, put it on. Enjoy your time as you're working out here. I really encourage you guys to do that. So that way you're just not listening to my voice droning on with nothing in the background to kind of soothe this situation. Beyond that, we're ready to go today. So let's get ourselves upright and running. Let's grab that pole option. Let's go ahead and start with just our wider stance and bringing the hands up and over, making sure that we can get full range of motion if possible. And the best way to make sure that's happening is hands a little wider if you're feeling restrictions through the shoulders. Okay, so let's find a good inhale in and a nice exhale out. And let's move ourselves next into the windmill. Arms stay in front, and we're going to wrap around the head 3 times in one direction. You gotta just go with where you can. You can be a little bit higher up to be a safer option, and then reverse that. I think as you're standing, you're kind of feeling the bottoms of the feet into the floor here. All right, speaking of those feet, let's take them real wide. Let's put this onto our shoulders. Let's work into our lateral movement. Sit back and down to one side. Nice push through that heel and reverse it. If you're feeling good, you start adding just a little depth with each of those, and you feel that bigger stretch. Get some bigger strengthening out of it. One more. Okay, and then let's bring this overhead, and we've got our step back lunges with some rotation here. So right foot is going to step back. We're going to twist to that left side. We're going to come back to center, stand up through that heel, and switch. Awesome. So take that back foot as back as you can. Okay, you can start to extend back further. That's going to open the hip flexor more, give you a little bit more full body stretch all the way through. Okay, and last one. Okay, let's take this item and toss it, put it away, come on down to the floor, hands in knees position, and then we're going to flip those hands. So you're going to go palms down, but fingers pointed towards you. Hands under shoulders, knees a little bit wide, sit back and down to where you can, and then just come back to the top point where the shoulders are once again on top of those hands. Got 6 of these. If you'd like to find a little slow breathing in and out, great time to always think about your breathing, to wake it up, get the brain and body working together. Okay, next up, right foot step through. Left hand, bring it behind you. Let's do a little bit of that lean in, pull that elbow back. Let's push back with that right leg and go elbow to knee. And working on maybe getting a little lower if you're not feeling moderate stretch, or pushing back a little further if you need to kind of get into that deeper stretch point to feel it. One more. And switch it. Right foot down, left foot out in front, right hand behind you. Let's lean it in. And let's press it on back. We're going to breathe in as you come forward. We're going to breathe out as you push back. And once again, find moderation in your stretch. Where does that work best for you? 2 more. Inhale forward, exhale back. All right, I'm going to leave my foot in the same spot, but I'm just going to swivel my body around about now 90 degrees. I want to notice as I start that I've got knees stacked on top of the ankle. With our hand, we're going to lean into that and then press up and get tall. So try to work on keeping this leg just a little backwards as we go through it. So we're finding some posterior chain. That's also going to open some deeper stretch on the inside here. And give me one more. All right, go ahead and switch it. Opposite side, stack that knee and ankle, and go. Perfect. Breathing in as you go forward, breathing out as you come back tall. And once again, if you can push that leg back a little bit, and open that inside a little bit more. And we got one more, last one. Inhale forward, exhale up. Very nice. We're going to finish out on our backs, doing 30 seconds of our bicycles from here. So let's get into position, hands lightly behind the head. Let's put those feet up into the air. We got 30 seconds, and we will get started officially in 3, 2, and 1. Give me that nice rotation. Let's drive elbow to knee. Let's drive a leg out straight each time. Give me a push through that heel with each of those legs, and flex those toes. All right, so maintain good, steady breathing. Rotating through the core. Can you feel how your core is pulling the top half of the body side to side? We go finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. You are officially warm. Like I had mentioned, we're going to stick to the same sequence we've been doing for the last number of workouts, so no big surprises here today. We're going to start with 2 movements that are full range of motion movements. We'll have some pulsing attached to them. And after we've done them on each side, we'll follow with a cardio movement. So let's get into what we're going to begin with. This has the opportunity for weight if you'd like. I'm going to grab my bag as a heavy weight. Sarah's got hers as well. We're going to start by doing a lateral lunge to one side, and then at the top we're going to balance and we're going to shoulder press. This could also be done with body weight, your choice. Hold the weight up in front of you if you got it. Step out and squat down for the lateral lunge. Come up, balance it, press the weight up, bring it down, and step back out and repeat. So stick to one side, create balance, wake up some balance early on if you're having trouble with it, no big deal. And of course, you can do this with body weight. If you need a more manageable approach, you're not going to go super low into that. Then for the pulse, we're just going to go into the leg work. So we could keep the weight or we could go body weight. We're going to stay into that down position and we're just going to inch it up and down, staying into that low point. Slow ups and downs, just really, really small movement for that strong pulse. We finished this set with cardio, same cardio we've been doing for the last little bit here. We're going to have that right foot out in front, arms out in front. We're going to bring that knee right up on that left side with a little speed and a little power. Now you can be higher up into that stance and work through here too as a more manageable approach as well. That's our first sequence. Our second sequence, full range of motion, is going to get us down to the floor. So you'll notice Sarah, hands in knees position. We're going to bring one foot up into the air and press up and then bring it all the way back down. Full range of motion has us go up and then come back down. Our pulse keeps us to the top and we just do that small press, that small pulse for that 20 seconds. We'll do it on both sides, and then once we're done with that, we get into the same cardio movement we had done yesterday, which is our plank jack position. So plank position, Sarah does a great job of kind of keeping her back up a little higher. And even though she doesn't have perfect activation through that, that is a safer option. So if for whatever reason your low back bothers you, or you feel a little bit uncomfortable, or you need to just make it a little bit easier, lifting your back up can be okay. That's an acceptable option through there, and I encourage you to kind of find where stuff works. Those are our movements for you. Let's play around with it. We're going to get started standing for our lateral lunge. We're going to have our balance and our shoulder press at the top of that lateral lunge. We got 10 seconds officially on the clock. Let's get ourselves set up. Weight in hand if you got it. We get started in 3, in 2, in 1. Step out to one side, bring it up in balance, press it, and repeat. Now, as you sit out to that side, put your weight into that heel, right? The outside leg, where you're stepping, this is where we're building strength. As you come up, I want the balance to shift to the opposite hip. So we've got strength on the right hip coming down, and then balance on the left hip at the top. And if you got to work through it, that's good. If you're getting a challenge through this, perfect. That's why we're doing it. In 3, in 2, in 1. Now we go pulse next. You have the option of keeping the weight or releasing it. We're going to stay in the down position. Same spot, beginning in 3, in 2, in 1. Step and hold, and now we just got that small pulse staying low. Now with this one, this is pure strength on that right side, while the left side is getting some stretch on the interior. Okay. Let's find steady breathing. Let's keep the core tight. Finished up in 3, 2, and 1. Stand up 10 seconds and we go to the next side. So get ready, get prepared. Got next side for the full range. In 2, in 1. Step it out, balance, and press at the top. There we go. Yeah, so same thing. Early on, this is a balance movement. Not only at the top of it, but also at the bottom of it. So I want you to take your time as you step out in those first few. Get the body in good alignment. And now she's rocking. Now she's got that balance. She's shifting power from the left hip into balance on the right hip. Power on the left, balance on the right. Core stays tight. Last few, everybody. Stay in there. Work towards that finish line. We'll go finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. We got the pulse next. If you need to shift weight options, do it. Take your wide stance and get started in 3, in 2, in 1. Keep it low, and let's build that strength on the outside leg now. You're pushing through that outside heel as kind of that point of balance and power. Inside leg should be feeling a little stretch. Okay, if you sit down even more, that stretch opens more. In 3, in 2, in 1. Perfect. We go cardio next with your right leg forward, your left leg back. Hands out in front. We're going to bring up that knee in 3, in 2, in 1. Go ahead and knock it out from there. And try to really get some pull down with those arms as we go through that. You can wake up lats. You can be much more successful with this movement. You can really challenge the body to that next level in what you're doing. We're halfway there. You got 15 seconds. If you got some gas in the tank, let's burn that sucker. There we go. You got steady, smooth, quick breathing, right? In, out, 2, 1, rest. Awesome. 40 seconds of recovery, and then we're going to go down to the floor and do that single leg kick towards the ceiling. Yeah. So you got a little bit of downtime. Relish your downtime. Now, I don't know about you all, but we're having a freaking heat wave out here in Santa Cruz. And I was having a horrible allergy attack before we got started. So I closed up everything, which means we got a hot Sean workout class going on today.
I need to use my baking soda to wash your
Baking soda's in it. All right, so let's get set in position. Remember, Sarah's added a weight into here. You have that option. In 3, in 2, in 1. She's going to go all the way up and all the way down. She's going to give me as full range of motion as you can. And I like how she stops right at that point where the knee and the hip align. Right? She's not going much higher than that. She doesn't need to. There's going to be different parts of the body working if she keeps trying to get up higher, and those parts of the body are not the glute, which is what our focus is. So find your butt, find your core, right? Your core is keeping you balanced right here. Your hips are doing a lot of work. And as you're pushing that up, breathing out. Pushing up and breathing out. Got final few, and then we're going to get to pulsing. Finish it up in 3, in 2, in 1. We got 10 seconds rest. We're going to pulse on the same side next. Pulse on the same side next. You can make weight adjustments if you need. We start in 3, in 2, in 1. We're staying up. Perfect. Small pulses. They don't necessarily need to be fast, but control it. Make it smooth movement. And then steady breathing, right? Even if it's smaller breaths, I want the in and out. I want that oxygen coming in. In 3, in 2, in 1. Rest for 10, switch the sides. Full range of motion coming up on the opposite. We get started in 3, in 2, and 1. All the way up, all the way down. There we go. Early on, you're figuring that movement out with where your body is in space. Take your time, nail it. Find a movement that feels good, that works well, and then we're just rocking from there. All right. And as you're kicking up, breathing out, right? If we want to put perfect breath to this, when we kick up, breathe out. Kick up, breathe out. We got ourselves about 10 seconds left. We're going to pulse to follow. We go finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. We rest for 10, we pulse next, and then once that pulsing is done, we're going to be going cardio plank jack. Let's get started in 3, in 2, in 1. Keep it up, keep it at that high point, and let's make even, yeah, there we go, Sarah, kind of making that a little bit smaller through the pulse. Bingo. So you'll notice, as far as what her body's doing, her knee is staying up higher, which is keeping more of that straight line between knee and hip. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. We go plank jacks next. This is the feet jumping out and coming back together. Your option is to step them out individually. In 2, in 1. You got 30 seconds of these plank jacks. And once again, Sarah's showing you, actually, her form right now is kind of peak form right here. Straight line through the hips, all the way to the shoulders and down to the ankles. If she's feeling any bit of twinge in that low back, I'm going to cue her to bring her butt up and keep herself safer through there. We got ourselves about 10 seconds remaining. Last few here, folks. Knock it out. Make it count. Finish line coming up. And we go finished in 3, in 2, in 1. That is rest time. That is recovery time. That is round 1 in the books. That is like a good solid high five time right here. Ed, this one's coming for your pec right there. Boom. Very good. Ryan, give you a little backhand right there. Will, I'm going to give you right there. Solid. All right. Sonia, up high. Woo! All right. All right, get yourself a quick sip of water. I'm going to reset this. You know, once I hit that start, it's 10 seconds to get going, so get prepared. Okay, we're going to go back from the top, full range of motion. Let's do it one more time. You've got the lateral step, you've got the balance, and you've got the shoulder press. We've got 10 seconds before we get there. It's time to grab whatever weight you may or may not need. Feet are together. You're stepping out to that right side in 3, 2, 1. Step it out, balance it up, press it up, and then repeat. Work on it piece by piece, right? This is a complex movement. It has 3 major revolving parts to it. See if you can nail each one of those 3 perfectly here. You get a really nice lateral lunge. You pop up and stick it, and then you press. Love it, love it. Okay, once you're good, once you're finding all those pieces, if you feel like it, add that speed, 10 seconds, and then we go pulse. There we go, there we go. Wrap it up in 3, in 2, in 1. You can put the weight down if you want. We pulse next for 20. Keeping the feet wide, lowering down in 3, 2, 1. Let's stay low. The lower you can get, the more you're going to get out of this, right? Let's find that heel working on that outside leg, and let's tighten up those belly muscles so that we've got support and we're burning more, using more. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Stand up, next side coming up. No time wasted right here. You've got the full range. Step it out, balance it, press it in 3, 2, 1. Let's knock it out. Those first few, find it, right? Take it slow, step it, control it, balance it, control it, press it, control it. There we go, love it. See, we fixed that little balance problem pretty quick, didn't we?
I do better when you don't watch me.
I know, she gets a little worried when I kind of point her out, so don't worry, nobody's watching you right now, Sarah. Nobody at all. Just all the millions of people, or at least our parents at home.
Hey, Dad.
This one goes out to you, Tom. All right, finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. We rest. Pulse comes up next. Get repped. Get prepared. Feet wide, sitting into it in 3, 2, 1. Let's stay low. Excellent. Let's find that heel on the outside, right? Let's make sure that butt is working on the outside. All right, let's tighten that belly. Everything working, maximal effort right here. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Weight goes down. We go cardio next. Your left foot is forward. Left foot is forward, arms are out. Quick knee lifts with some hands pulling down. In 2, in 1. Let's knock it out. Give me 30.
I was ready to go to the ground.
She's never short on honesty. Never short on honesty. I think she's ready for Friday to just truly hit here. We got ourselves about 10 seconds remaining. Focus and finish right here. Push what we can. This is the last bit of cardio standing today. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. You've got yourselves 40 seconds to recover right here. You got yourself some time. Take it. Right on. Treat yourselves to some water.
Cheers.
Cheers. Call this like our happy hour, our 4:30 happy hour here. Okay, so next up movement is hands and knees. We're doing that single leg press going up. Now Sarah finagles a weight into there. You could try that or you can do a body weight. Anything's okay. Let's get in position, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. We get started in 3, in 2, in 1. Full up and down. Okay, start with the full range of motion. Let's balance it through the upper body, right? Hands kind of finding equal. That hip on the opposite side is balancing you a lot. Let's find it and feel it. See if we can kind of keep it in line. And now the breathing. Where's your breathing? Are you breathing? And if you are, breathing out when you push up is what we teach. You got yourselves about 10 seconds remaining. Knock it out. Feel your butt. Glute work today. We're going to have a few exercises based on glute work. In 3, in 2, in 1. It's the pulse next. You can add, take away weight, or you can stay where you're at. Same thing, but staying high. Beginning in 3, 2, and 1. Let's make it happen. Staying up. And Sarah took the bait. She got rid of the weight right there. That's perfect. I want her to find and feel what's working for her today, and I want you all to do the same. You got 10 seconds remaining. Your bellies are tight. You're feeling stable through the hands and shoulders. You're done in 3, 2, 1. Recover. Switch the weight over if you got it. Full range coming up on the next side. We get started in 3, 2, 1. Press it up and all the way down. Good. First few, once again, find the movement. Figure out where you do it, how it feels, and then let's identify glute, right? Your butt should be working. If you can't find that, you absolutely got to slow it down and make sure your body is in tune with that. And then you're breathing as you kick up, breathe out. Kick up, breathe out. Got 10 seconds, 10 seconds. Go steady through. Last few coming up. We go finished in 3, in 2, in 1. The pulse comes next. You can adjust weight if you need it or just stay where you're at and keep that foot high. Pulses begin in 3, in 2, in 1. Keep it high. Find that glute again and breathe, everybody. Ten seconds. Belly tight. Come on, keep that breathing. Don't keep it in, right? Steady in, steady out. In 3, in 2, in 1. It's cardio. It's plank jacks next. And then we're taking a break to follow. Get in position. We start in 3, in 2, in 1. Jump them out, bring them in. 30 seconds here. And if you're feeling good, you ramp it up. You give me more. You push yourself going into that upcoming weekend. Steady breathing. Come on, folks. You're halfway there. You got 15 remaining. Once again, that opportunity, if you got it, take it. All right, last few. Finished up in 2, in 1, and rest time. Half of your workout is already on the books. Woo! Nice and done, everybody.
You're
Oh,
pathetic.
Sarah's glistening over here. Here, you want some of that?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. I'm hoping you guys just went out there. If not, I think you might need to make some adjustments in what you're doing, regardless as to where you're at. We've got Tabata coming up next. So we've got 5 exercises to show you here. 3 of them are going to be done twice, so single-sided movements. This is a great opportunity to have a single moderate weight. Single moderate weight. It could be a light weight, it could be no weight, But we're gonna start out doing a snatch, movement we had done last week. So if our right hand is holding the weight between kind of the legs here, our other arm is extended out. We're gonna start by going on a little bit of a squat, and then we're gonna pull that weight right up, and at the top, I'm gonna give you that side view. I want that arm to come back just the tiniest bit so we get posterior shoulder work. Bend the elbow going down, bend that elbow coming up. This is not a fly all the way up and down. As you bend the elbow, it changes the dynamics of the movement. So work on that, and if you need to slow it down a little bit, you can just come here and kind of make it piece by piece as a more manageable approach through that. So we've got that on both sides, then we go down to the floor and we continue the glute work. With our continuing of the glute work, we're gonna do a fire hydrant movement. So same hands and knees position, we're gonna lift the legs straight out to the side like a nice dog on a pretty pristine fire hydrant. Yeah, we go through that on each side, and then we break into having 2 of those light or moderate weights. Now you can also use a heavier weight through this. This is a combo of doing a bridge press that we're gonna hold, and then some chest press from there. So Sarah's gonna grab 2 weights. I'm gonna grab my heavy bag, and I'm gonna use this as my option, and we're gonna get into that hip press position. Feet close to the butt, bring them up, and then we're gonna just keep the hips up as we do that chest press from here. Okay? Integrate your core as you do that, feel your butt working. Our next movement from there, we're just gonna remove the weight, we're gonna sit back, and we're gonna do figure 8s with our feet. So making that number 8 in the direction, or that infinity for our funk folk out there. Our final movement is a side plank with a rotation that we'll do on both sides. You have some choices through your stance. You can stack those feet, you can split those feet, you can have that bottom knee on the floor. Your top arm is up, it taps the floor in front of you, and then you rotate the body back up. I want you to find and feel rotators through your core, okay? So our goal onto this is to really find rotation through the center of the body while we're doing that movement. We do that on both sides, and then we do it a couple more times. We've got 3 rounds of Tabata, and then you are clear to go for the day. So give me 5 right here. You all, give yourself some 5s. High five those neighbors, you know, whoever's around. Let's get to our Tabata. Our first movement has us with that single moderate weight for doing the snatch. I'm gonna put 10 seconds on the clock. Let's get set into position. Feet should be a little wider than shoulders. Other arm is out, and we're gonna bend the elbow in the lift. In 2, in 1, pull that weight up, bring it back a little bit, and then straight down. So this is a power movement. As you're lifting up, push through those heels with a little burst, and of course, rip that arm up, rip that weight up with some power. In 3, 2, and 1. We rest for 10. We switch our sides coming up. Same thing. Okay, let's get started. In 3, in 2, in 1. Squat it down and rip that weight up. Bend that elbow. Do not keep that arm straight through this. Bend that elbow to be successful in a proper snatch. You got 10 more seconds. You are burning through those legs to help the weight get up. It's that lower half then pushing into the upper. In 2, in 1. You come down to the floor. We do the fire hydrant next. Come on down to the floor. Wait there if you need it. We get started on one side in 3, 2, 1. Straight out and smooth back down. As you lift up, breathe out. Let's put that together. Lift up, breathe out. 10 seconds. Now finding balance on the opposite side of the hip. How are we balancing and strengthening? In 3, in 2, in 1. Let's go ahead and switch the sides. Next side coming up. Once again, steady through the hands. They're stabilizing you. We start in 2, in 1. Lift out and control down. Right, so we got 10 seconds right here. After this, we're going to be going around onto the back, and we're going to be doing our hip bridge press with the chest press. In 1, and rest. We're going to turn around, go onto our back. 2 individual weights, 1 heavy weight. Keep the hips up. In 2, in 1. Hips stay high, and now we're pressing with the chest and those shoulders. And I really want Sarah to use her lats as she comes down. So by keeping her elbows a little bit closer to the sides of the body, that's going to integrate kind of that lat back work. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. The weights go to the side. She goes V-shaped position, and she's doing those number 8s, excuse me. Not yet, though. You can rest if you need to, or you can keep going. In 2, in 1, let's knock it out. Okay, now, if you can, be gentle with the head and neck. If it feels like it's tightening up on you, just move things around a little bit. Keep it a little loose. And steady breath. Let's keep that oxygen coming in. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Side plank position, your top arm up, tapping the floor, and then rotating back to the top. In 3, 2, 1. Remember with positioning, A, that elbow is under the shoulder for safety, right under it, not extended out. You've got options where you could be on that bottom knee, you could split those feet, or as Sarah's doing, stacking them, taking them to kind of that maximum challenge level. In 3, in 2, in 1. Turn it, switch it, flip it. Once again, give me good alignment through the elbow and shoulder. We get started in 3, 2, and 1. Smooth coming down, smooth going up. Perfect. And she's even reaching behind her extra, so she's increasing that rotation. The more full range of motion we can get, the better. Let's do it. Good. Finished in 3, 2, and 1. Recover. Quick sip of water. Got 2 more to go. 2 more to go. Hopefully everyone got that one down. You notice that our sequences stay pretty similar. You know, we try to go core in the middle, we try to do a little bit of leg work standing in the beginning. Usually do some rotation stuff at the back end. All right, get that sip of water. I'm not going to give you very long of a break right here. We're going to make you work today. Minimal rest for maximal effort. We start in 10 seconds. It's a snatch to begin. Excuse me. Let's reset that. There we go. We started 10 seconds now, officially. Feet real wide, opposite arm extended out, squat and lift in 2, in 1, you're here, and that elbow bends as we pull that weight up. Okay? At the top, at the very top, tighten the core, right? Tighten the belly. I want you to give me just a split second hold with a tight belly at the top each time. Reaffirm what we're doing. Finished in 3, in 2, and 1. Recover for 10. Next side coming up. Remember, bend that elbow, please. Bend that elbow. 3, 2, and 1. Yeah, Sarah said it's like pulling your shirt off. That's what Coach Goose used to teach over at OTF. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. Although I don't just like rip my shirt all the way up and on. Well, sometimes I do, but we don't really discuss that here in public forums.
Only Goose does that.
All right, in 3, in 2, in 1. Let's take it to the floor. We're going to do fire hydrant next. We're going to find that booty working. We're going to keep those core muscles tight. Get started in 3, in 2, in 1. Create the smooth lift, and if you can smooth coming down, you can smooth that out. This is really where you're going to maximize the effectiveness of this exercise. It is the unloading. It is the eccentric drop where you're building muscle here. So if you can really slow things down on the bottom, this is the change. In 3, in 2, in 1. Switch it over. Next side up. All right, big inhale in, long exhale out. We start in 3, in 2, in 1. Lift up and control it down. Now, I told you all yesterday I had a little speech today, and I did my speech, and I did well. Thank you for caring about that. I told Sarah, about the eccentric phase stuff and muscle building. She says, why don't you say that in class? I go, Sarah, I say that all the time in class. In 3, in 2, in 1. That's good. We go light to moderate weight or maybe a heavy weight. You're on your back. You push your hips up and you get your chest pressing in 3, in 2, in 1. So I realize you guys work out and you probably don't listen to me a whole lot. That's actually probably a wise move in my opinion. But every once in a while, I got a nugget of gold out there that's probably worth listening to. So here and there, pay attention, cue in. In 3, in 2, in 1. The weights go to the side, we sit up, and we do those 8s. Figure 8s, the infinity sign is coming up. Elbows is where we want you. In 3, in 2, in 1. Let's knock it out. And if you can go bigger, better. If you need to make it a little smaller, condense it, do what you need. If you need to take a break, take a break. Bend your knees, put your feet on the floor for a quick moment, and then come back up and keep working. Finished up in 3, 2, and 1. Turn to the side, side plank, rotate for 2 times, and then we'll take one more break. We'll get started in 3, in 2, in 1. Full rotation, fantastic, or tapping the floor. Remember, you could be on that bottom knee as a more manageable option, or you could even split those feet, 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. There we go. Open and rotate. Feel them. Find them. 3, 2, 1. Turn it. Switch it. Next side. Last side. We get started in 3, 2, 1. Up we go. Rotate through. Nice. Sarah's got a hip lift now, so she's almost pulling into a pike position through here. So if you can lift your hips up and reach higher or reach further back, you're going to wake up more out of this movement. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Recover. 2 out of 3. You got 1 remaining. Nice job, everybody. Woo! Hopefully that sweat is working these days.
It's all my sunscreen melting off.
You're like a snowman out in the sun, you're just melting out there?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's come to our last set here for the day. Time flies when we're having fun, huh?
Yep.
I'll tell you, these classes, they go by quick. And even when I do the workouts, I'm thinking, man, we pumped through this stuff. Good on you, everybody. We got one more round. Let's quit chatting. Let's make it happen. 10 seconds, and we go snatches. Single weight, feet wide, other arm extended, and bend that elbow. We get started in 3, 2, and 1. Slow down, and then pop up. Let's work on the explosive pop now. It's our final round. It is time to add to what we're doing. I want some power in that lift, please. There we go. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. We rest for 10. Get ready and give me that same energy. Sarah's giving you good energy right now. Pay attention, rock it with her. In 3, in 2, in 1. Squat it down and drive with some power. There we go, there we go. She's using her heels. Those feet, those legs are what's giving her momentum initially, and then ripping through that arm at that top. There we go. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. To the floor, hands and knees, fire hydrant up next. And work on balancing in 3, 2, 1. Now, everybody slow coming down, right? Slow coming down. We want to get the most strengthening that we can, and so we're going to over-accentuate the unloading of this movement. And the release back down, building that strength. Finished in 3, 2, 1, recover, next side coming up. Okay. We get started in 3, in 2, and 1. Smooth, coming down, right? We lift up, we feel and find the butt, and we're controlling it down. Breathing steady into what you're doing. Finish this side up in 3, in 2, in 1. Come down to the floor. On your back, hip press, chest press combo. Keep the hips up, arms moving in 2, in 1. Let's make it happen. Let's find those lats, right? Lats coming down, then chest and shoulders power the up. Meanwhile, your heels are pushing into the floor. You can squeeze your butt through here, but you're not overextending the hips. You're keeping it just a little bit below that straight line or at it. 2, 1, going to that V-shaped position. Number 8's coming up. Beginning in 2, in 1, feet up. If you need to take breaks, take breaks. But if you've got an ability to push through this right now, we are at the tail end of things. I want your effort if possible. Good. Breathe. Breathe steady. If that neck's getting tight, you move the head around a little bit. In 3, in 2, in 1. Give me side plank position. Whatever works for you. Knees split or stacked with those feet. Begin in 3, 2, Juan, Sarah's added a weight. If you're feeling saucy, add a weight at home. Get a little bit extra into your final 2 moves of the day. There we go. And you'll notice as she lifts up and breathes and presses up, she's breathing out. So she's finding a breath out at the top. In 3, in 2, in 1. Turn it, switch it. Last exercise of the day. 3, 2, and 1. Give me 20 seconds of perfection. If you can go with strength, if you can keep those hips higher, make our last exercise count today. There we go, there we go. Standing up, breathing out. Finished in 3, in 2, in 1. That is rest, that is recovery, that is your workout. Woo, everybody. Sarah, you kicking butt today, girl.
Yeah.
I like it.
I ate my Wheaties.
She ate her Wheaties. Actually, she's not eating carbs, so she would not eat her Wheaties. Let's be fair. Oh, that's true. Yeah, she's back on carbs. My apologies. But the healthy ones, the complex carbs, the good stuff for you. Whole grains, whole oats. We want to encourage you to eat the good stuff. The complex carbohydrates are most definitely the good stuff, everybody. Well, let's get ourselves into a little bit of stretching. We'll do a small amount of chit chat, and then we'll see you next week with all new stuff. So let's go ahead and start. I'm going to start seated. Sarah's going to start on her back. We're going to get into that figure 4 stretch to begin whatever we're doing here. If you're in that seated position, you need to make it a little bit deeper of a stretch, then you move your butt closer towards your heel. Wherever you're at, I want the toes up. Okay? So I'm going to readjust so I get ankle on top of knee. And my crossed knee, I'm going to try to push that away from my body. Right? And by doing that, now I'm getting more of that hip stretch on the outside. Let's get our deep breath in, all the way in. Nice long exhale out. Awesome, let's go ahead and switch it over. Next side up. Once again, figure out where it works best for you. You might notice one side being a little bit tighter than the other. Totally fine, always okay. Just being aware of ourselves. So on my left side, I've got to just be a little bit more aware. I'm tighter there. It also means that when I'm done with the workout, I should probably focus a little bit more time on that left side, which is something that I do. I encourage you all, if you know one side is tighter than the other, continue to work on that day in and day out. Big inhale in, long exhale out. Let's go ahead and unwind the feet. Bring the bottoms of the feet together from here. Let's allow the knees to start to drop down towards the floor. And let's make sure that the neck is loose, right? Let's drop tension out of the neck and shoulders here. Well, we wanted to talk to you all about something Sarah and I were discussing a little bit earlier today, which has to do with counting calories and how a lot of our devices these days help us in doing that, or they at least count our steps. And so Sarah's got her Apple Watch, which we've talked about before, and so her Apple Watch syncs into, I believe, MyFitnessPal. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. Okay, very good. Inhale in, exhale out. Let's get into our quad stretch next. Kneeling position. Pick a knee, put it to the floor, next leg out in front. You can bring both the hands to the floor and hold here, or you can reach behind you and kind of go for that foot for a bigger stretch. So Sarah's Apple Watch counts her steps, like all good Apple Watches and Fitbits and everything else that's out there on the market. And then as it sinks into her MyFitnessPal, it'll add the supposed calories burned, and I say supposed for a reason, to her daily allotted amount of calories. And so this has been a point of struggle for her in the past, because she's taken those caloric numbers and said, well, I'm below my calories day in and day out, I should be losing weight. Big inhale in, long exhale out. Let's go ahead and drop that and switch.
Or
opposite side.
I just ran so I can have a donut.
Yes, the old, I'm going to give myself a treat because I just did something really good. So I'm going to just get back to square one, or maybe even take one step forward, 2 steps back through there. But really what we wanted to say is that it's more important to make sure that you find yourself on track with what you're eating. If you're counting calories or you're being regimented in what you're doing, keep the calorie count the same. Keep the food the same, and do not mark what you're doing for your exercise. Now you can track it, but don't assume that that's additional calories that you can have in your given day. Let's go ahead and release the foot. Come out of that. Get me into a good seated position. Let's do 2 upper body stretches here. We'll start with our side one, just reaching the arm up and over. As you're doing this, kind of let the head fall a little bit over to that side so you're staying loose up top there. Let's remember, we're really trying to breathe deeply to open more into that side. So we just wanted to give you a different perspective on something that we thought was just so commonplace. You know, this happens to all of us and we don't really think twice about it, but realistically we shouldn't be counting those workout calories. And in fact, to be honest, calories don't tell the true tale as to what's going on. Let's go ahead and switch it over, opposite side, and good reach. You know, I mean, our generic versions of counting calories, and even, you know, if you really want to break it down to the calories in versus calories out argument, that doesn't stand up, you know. People lose weight all the time that are eating more calories. People gain weight who are on 1,200 calorie diets, and there's a lot of reasons for that, and there's a lot of complexity into the reasons for that. Let's bring ourselves back up. Let's finish up with just a little bit of forearm stretching today. Let's stay loose up top into the neck. I mean, things like hormones, how well you're sleeping, nutrient density within the types of foods that you're eating. All those can play really, really significant roles in how you're metabolizing food and what your weight shows on a scale. Let's go ahead and switch it over. Not only that, but one more on my rant right here. Fat is really what we want to be looking for and not necessarily weight, right? Because it's not hard for me to drink 30 ounces of water and then all of a sudden I could be another pound or 2 heavier, or I could be really light on my water for a given day and be a few pounds lighter. So that's a trick. I mean, if you love your scale and you really want to see good numbers, you just dehydrate yourself for a day and I think you'll see some weight loss.
He's also saying that because I only weigh 10 pounds less than him, and he's trying to make me feel better.
Oh, go ahead and shake it on out. Well, that was very honest of you. Well, I hope that makes everyone feel better at home. I mean, you know, we're all in our own struggles as we go through this stuff, and it's always okay to be open and to talk about it and discuss it, and I hope that what we can do can help shed some light or at least bring some more acceptance into your own lives. You've done a fantastic job this week, everybody. Next week, we'll start with some new stuff. Come on in. We'll see you then.